everyone, my name is Sadie Shapiro and I am so excited and honored to be here. And congrats on surviving the rain. Over the course of my years at MKA, I have learned that the members of our student body are experts when it comes to words. We live in a world where speech patterns and terminology evolve so often and so quickly that I think that we've kept up with it very well. So well, in fact, that an outsider listening to a conversation about MKA would not recognize about half of the words that we're saying. There is an incredibly complex web of MKA lingo that you probably don't even realize that you're using, but that I would like to sort of draw attention to today, because the more time I have spent with the class of 2025, the more I have believed that I am part of a completely bilingual student body. For starters, we are standing here on Van Brunt. Although I'm not a lifer, I have been at this school since I was 11, and I've never once heard anyone call it the football field, possibly because it's not limited to football. We saw some incredible achievements from our athletes this year, including multiple championship titles from field hockey and soccer, for example, led by an amazing lineup of senior athletes. Supporting from the sidelines, we had our cheerleaders who won Best Dance at the SEC Cheer for the Cure competition, and our pep band, led by many amazing senior musicians. Attendance at our athletic events may have been at an all-time high due to the introduction of house dollars, another MKA exclusive term that absolutely succeeded in boosting morale, as well as increasing the hype for Synergy, where our house captains excelled. Go strong. See what I mean? That would not be coherent if I were giving this speech at any other school. Speaking of other schools, there is no other school that I know of that has so many collaborative opportunities in the arts and such a genuinely supportive community to go along with it. MKA students never fail to show up for an arts event, whether it's strings at Carnegie Hall or remix at ICHSA, whether we're browsing incredible works from AP Studio Art or flipping through the latest edition of Stylus, an MKA exclusive magazine, whether we're watching band perform a Wicked medley or chorus perform a Wicked medley. I did see the movie twice, and I think both chorus and band did it justice. If you know me, you know that I cannot get through this speech without mentioning the incredible MKA theater department. Not to brag, but we sold out all 4 performances of our winter musical Descendants, where we were blessed with incredible vocals from senior performers, not to mention Disney villain performances for the ages. In our spring play, we heard amazing monologues from our actors, and I don't know about you, but I would absolutely be willing to sell my soul to the impeccable portrayal of the devil. If you looked closely, you'd notice the detail and love of the costume design, and if you listened closely, you'd hear me sobbing out loud in the tech booth. We may call our theaters Deitchen and Weiss, confusing outside visitors and occasionally ourselves, but those names do not begin to describe the community that we have built within the arts program and the connections we've built across disciplines from athletics to academics. Even our MKA staple Mayterm projects spanned every interest. We played musical instruments, we made marionettes, we interned with doctors and teachers, we worked at coffee shops and went on hikes. Over my time at this school, I have become confident that the class of 2025 does everything. In addition to the innumerable benefits of MKA, there will be, of course, things we won't miss. And here's where some less informed audience members may need to pull out a thesaurus. For example, I'm sure we will not miss walking outside in the snow to South Campus, also known as the gym. We will probably be happy to leave all discussion of Monday meeting and Tuesday talk behind. We will probably never attend another gathering. The owl camera graveyard in the basement is collecting dust as we speak, and our fallen soldiers, Moodle and Jamboard at this point only exist through stories. The concept of Veracross will eventually be nothing more than a distant memory. However, I'm sure we'll think back fondly on the survival shop, we'll reminisce about spirit wear and getting unfairly dress-coded, and maybe down the line while writing college papers, we'll even consult the famous no-no list. It's sad to leave this place behind, but at least we will never again have to steal snacks from the CCO during CWP and not be able to open them until L3 because you can't eat in the AC or in FNPA classrooms. And if you understood what I just said, you are definitely an MKA student. We have not just used our language skills to learn an abundance of slightly confusing MKA exclusive slang. We have learned how to write, we have learned how to speak in front of crowds, we have learned how to dive into a work of literature and extract every possible meaning. Spoiler alert, it's probably a biblical reference, or it symbolizes either a loss of innocence or the American dream. We've learned how to create thesis statements and solid arguments, whether our end goal was writing a junior thesis or explaining why we should be allowed to park in Walden as a junior. As the world evolves around us, we have seen firsthand that words have power, and we have learned how to use our speech to fight for a community that is inclusive and safe for all, where everyone has the opportunity to use their voice to stand up for their own beliefs. MKA has turned us into activists and diplomats and leaders. We may not always recall how the block schedule worked, or the start times of early and late lunch, or that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, or that unconscious people don't want tea. Actually, I take that back. We're all going to be thinking about those last two for the rest of our lives. My point is, even if we happen to forget very specific elements of our MKA experience, we will not forget the MKA experience. This is where we learned how to live our lives. This is where we became great thinkers who understand the power of speech. That's not something that we can easily forget. There's no denying that we're growing up in a world that gets more complicated every day. But if there's any group of people I trust to change it for the better, it's this group. By using our words, by expressing ourselves and standing up for what we believe in, by being as kind, caring as much, and working as hard as we can, we are undoubtedly making a difference. So says the devil in Jen Silverman's Witch. You exist, and that's enough. Thank you all so much for existing authentically together right here, right now. Congratulations to the class of 2025.